Oh, mate, I just think it's an enormous program, the ACA Masters. To be able to go back and, like, tour with blokes that were trying to kill you, right? Or, when you played against them, or that you had a verbal stoush with, or that, and it's all said and done and it's all forgotten, but what you can actually do and give back to the local cricket communities, and that's the stuff that I know, because I lived it as a kid in Cairns growing up. When we had legends coming to our town, like Border and Chappell and Thompson and these sort of guys, that was what made me want to play. I got to get Greg Chappell's autograph, and I got to, be at a cricket clinic where he was at, and those sort of things. Like, they're the sort of things that I think cricket really needs to do more of, and the ACA Masters tours just do that. They do it beautifully. I mean, there's, there's fundraising elements, there's the cricket elements, there's the camaraderie amongst the players, all the stories that come out. Remember that game when we played WA, and all that sort of stuff. That's what it's all about, and it reinvigorates the past players to come back and get involved, and such an amazing resource like that we need to use more of moving forward, because there's so much that's happened before that needs to be flushed out, and other things learnt, and listening to some of the guys, the past players even before my era, talk about the game and some of their stories and experiences. You just want to sit there and listen forever. So there's always, and we've got to remember that we've got a responsibility to the next generation that does that. So you're a long time retired, and the friendships and that you forge throughout your career, you need to preserve them as much as you can, and this is another great way of doing that, and still having a very positive impact on cricket in Australia. So the ACA Masters tours I think are as beneficial as any other program that we've got running in Cricket Australia at the moment.
And as an extension of that, you helped establish and are now the General Manager of the Queensland Bulls Masters. What was the motivation to taking that on? Yeah,
same thing. I think Queensland's such a big place, and the ACA Masters can only do so much, and there's obviously geographical restraints and travel, all that sort of stuff that needs to be to get around. So yeah, and Casper and I were coming back from an ACA Masters tour and said we need to be doing something like this in Queensland. It's just such a big place, and now we've been up and running for 3 years, nearly 4, and we still haven't been everywhere in the States. So you can only do sort of, as you know, 5 or 6 tours a year, which is one every 2 months, which is logistically quite tough. And I mean, you guys know that better than anyone when you're trying to put them together. But we need to do that, and we've got so many of our former Queensland cricketers that are from country areas. You look at Healy from Billawheeler, Bickle from Laidley, Martin Love, our greatest ever run scorer from Mundubbera. There's 2,000 people live there. Carl Rackerman, one of our top 5 leading wicket takers of all time from Wandai, a small place outside of Kingaroy. Andrew Simons grew up in Charters Towers. So you've got so many guys that have come from regional centres throughout Queensland. They're out there, so we've got to get out there and find them. And as you know, the competition with other sports is so great now. There's other options. Gone are the days where you had 2 TV channels and Donkey Kong. There's iPads. There's just access to everything. Touch of a button. Entertainment for our kids. So they're not out in the backyard throwing a cricket ball or kicking a footy as much as they were 15 years ago, because they're looking for instant satisfaction, and they can get it. So there's another reason we've got to get up. We've got to get out to these areas in Queensland and do that the same way the ACA does. So the Bulls Masters been great. Same reasons again. Getting some of the past players back involved. Again, an untapped resource that we need to get that information to the next generation of cricketers.